Consider that an early race without a lot of the dickheads on.
Well, you got a lot of the kids getting out of school at that. They're home then, and that's what.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes it bad. Younger set.
Yeah, that's like those are the ones I would consider to run in. You know, sometimes be like, yeah, run this one now. Late. I watched fucking Nick run last night. C Open. It was fucking ridiculous. Right? Yeah. Like 8 cautions.
Yeah, I don't expect.
They had the first caution frickin' right in turn 1.
Yeah, I don't expect anything like that. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic after that.
Well, I mean, technically, last race we raced here went caution free, so.
Yeah, I mean, usually at the tough tracks, that's usually when the drivers step up. And
we got a different crowd too this time.
It is, but it's kind of whatever you want to call it. At the end of the season, we got 4 races left. It's starting to thin itself down some, which in doing that should extend green flag running. To some degree, it shouldn't be like it was the first 6 or 8 races of the season.
No, it was in the mid-30s for his participation.
Wow,
it was crazy.
I was almost ready to take your pistol and
at Bristol, I was saying 287 total incidents. I was like, oh my god.
How many of those did you cause?
None, Ryan.
Wreck 'em, Ron.
Wreck 'em, Ron.
Because I'm perfect, Ryan. I have 0 incidents this season.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Ron for a second.
No. I'm not that old yet.
Oh, my reply was going to be, it doesn't matter how many people you wreck, you still have less incidents than Marty.
That's not true.
Speed.
I think
All right, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to another fun-filled night of racing with the V-Speed Contender Series, sponsored by Nitro. FRT, and NEPA Towing. Tonight finds us at the Lady in Black, the tried and true Darlington Motor Speedway, Darlington, South Carolina. This track's got the nickname the Lady in Black, and the track Too Tough to Tame. So tonight we will see how many of these trucks make it around this track without getting that famous Darlington stripe. Now, I don't know if you guys were with us last week, but we had a nail biter. Bailey Dutton led 62 of the 91 laps, and on a technicality lost the race at the end of the race by going below the white line. So it took a whole lot of talking with the admins, but the race ended up like this. So we ended up with Jordan Martin as our winner, Mr. Ron Thompson, which currently is, of course, is our current point leader, and Mr. Jimmy Babb in third. So those are the podium finishers. Now, as far as the rest of the finishes, we had Ryan Lang that ended up in fourth, Bernard Persons in fifth, Joe Zader in sixth, Russ Bovair in seventh, Jason Spear in eighth, Levi Allen in ninth, Ricky Williams in 10th, Dustin Billhausen in 11th, Logan Keyes in 13th, Todd Cray 14th, Bailey Dutton ended up in 15th, Anthony Promoter, which had started right behind him, in 16th, Jay Gimble in 17th, Patrick Desaulnier in 18th, Perry Snelson in 19th, Brinson Hunt 20th, and Tim Marlowe rounded out the top 20. Now, just a little recap of what I meant by being losing out by technicality. So, in the league rules here at the V-Speed Contender Series, it plainly states that you cannot go below the white line prior to the start-finish line. And on the restart, Bailey Dutton and Anthony Promoter did just that. So that ended up ruining the rest of their night. So, of course, this was on pretty much a green-white checker, so everybody was going for it. We get it. So I know there were some hurt feelings over that, but it worked out. Everybody went back to the rules and seen it was actually in the rules and underlined in the rules with bold letters. So it's definitely one of those rules that was there, and it's one of those rules that you don't like until it applies to you. So it is what it is. Now, do a little recap of the series so far. So as of right now, Mr. Ron Thompson has got a huge 50-point lead over Bailey Dutton. Bailey Dutton's in second place, Jay Gimble in third, Bernard Persons in fourth, Todd Cray in fifth, Tim Marlowe in sixth, Joe Zader in seventh, Blair Patterson in eighth, Levi Allen in ninth, and Logan Keyes rounds out the top 10. Now, right now, there's also teams involved with this, as you can see, like right now, to get Jason Spears on the track on the screen. He has Spears Motorsports. So right now, as far as the teams are concerned, the Band of Misfits is leading the team point standings with the OPGM Shadow team in second, Cascade Hollow in third, Spear Motorsports in fourth, Triple R Racing in fifth, iHaters in sixth, DFTCR in seventh, Rush Motorsports in eighth, Team Something in ninth, Joe Rickards Esports in 10th, Team SPR in 11th, and John Crow Senior Motorsports in 12. So that's the 12 teams that are currently competing in the V-Speed Contender Series. Alright, so we got a little bit of overcast tonight. So that's going to add to the grip of the track. So hopefully that may add to a little bit of the competitiveness. Now these guys usually end up racing really well when they get to these harder tracks. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this race kind of plays out. Going to have a good field tonight. Looks like we're going to have about 20 drivers once again. And right now, as each race this year so far, this season so far, Mr. Ron Thompson is out there leading in the speed category. Currently we have Mr. Ron Thompson that's leading the speed charts. Bernard Person's a close second there. It's only a couple hundredths off. Logan Kais is up there. Mr. Joe Zader, which has been very impressive this season. And Jason Spear looking like your top 5 in the speed charts currently. So it looks like they got about 10 to go before they get ready to get off the track and start qualifying. So we are going to go ahead and everybody, we know what time it is. Let's go ahead and present yourself as you feel you need to for the national anthem. Alright everybody, a couple more laps of this warm-up session. These guys will be lining up to go out for their qualifying laps. And we'll see if Mr. Ron Thompson can continue his dominance from this year. Now, Ron has been in the top 3 in almost every single race we've had this season. He has been on fire. He has definitely been a force to be reckoned with. Now our champions from the last 2 seasons, Anthony Promoter, he's been in and out. I think work's been having him busy, so he hasn't really been able to campaign this season like he normally would. Tyler Bentley's in the same boat from the season prior to that. So it looks like we will have a new champion this year. Will it be Ron Thompson? Will it be Bailey Dutton? This year we've had the addition of the other setup shops coming in and running with us, and we appreciate that. So we've had the likes of Reaper Speed Labs, Team Conti, Marconi, and EPI as well. So we appreciate those guys coming over and running with us. It just shows the level of competition and the professionalism of majority of these drivers and the respect that they get throughout the community. So it looks like everybody's just about getting off the track here. Got about 20 seconds left and they'll be heading into the end of the pits here to get ready to start those Q laps. All right, let's see who goes out there and sits on that pole tonight. So, first car looks like the first car is going to hit the track is Ron Thompson, the man himself. Let's check out old Ron and see how he Let's see what Mr. Ron Thompson does on this Q lap here. Start of his first lap here. Going into 1 and get through 1 and 2 is a little tricky. Kind of enter on the apron and go up the track and catch that banking and ride it around. And then, of course, this being an egg-shaped track, 3 and 4 are totally different. And you have to slow down severely to get through that corner without knocking the wall down. So it looks like Joe Zader's going to post our first time, which was a 28.93. Tim Marlowe backs it up with an 81. And Ron's not going to get to the pole. He's a 28.91. But Joe Zader goes to the pole with a 28.76. Let's see here. Bailey Dutton comes in at an 82. Let's see if anybody's going to be able to knock old Zader off that top there. I got Jordan Martin making his outlap. Guess he chose not to run. We have Mr. Russ Bovair. Pretty sharp looking paint that Russ has got going on. It looks like Russ chose not to qualify. We got, let's see here, Logan Kai's on the track now. Logan's had some good runs this season. Logan's going to come in at 9th. Todd Cray up in 5th. Unless Patrick or Jay Gimbel can pull one out, which they do not. It looks like Mr. Joe Zeta is going to be sitting on the pole for us tonight. All right. The last one to finish up the qualifying lap is going to be Patrick, which he's going to better his lap a little bit up to 10th. All right, so it's looking like Joe Zader's going to start on the pole with Tim Marlowe on the outside. Next row is going to be Bailey Dutton, Jason Spears. Next row is going to be Todd Cray and Ron Thompson. Fourth row is going to be Bernard Persons and Anthony Promoda. And the fifth row is going to be Logan Kais and Patrick Desaulniers. So we have a total of 19 trucks tonight. So this is going to be a good little race. We should be should do well. Didn't look like anybody was having any problems during practice there. Sometimes we can kind of catch it in practice. If people are going to be having some difficulties, you'll see people kind of bouncing off the wall or rolling down through the infield, trying to see what they can do to push the limits. But I didn't see any of that tonight. So maybe we're going to have a nice little run tonight. That would be a good thing. So tonight's going to be 100 laps, no stages, and they are now going to head out on the track for a little bit of warm-up. It's usually like 5 minutes, and then we'll be heading these trucks to green. So sit back and enjoy this for a bit. I'm going to take a pause real quick before they start, and I'll be right back. everybody, I am back. We're riding along with Mr. Logan Keyes right now currently. Let's see who we have out on the track. So we have last season's champion, Mr. Anthony Promoter. Looks like he's riding along with Tim Marlowe as Tim Marlowe decides to get that Darlington stripe a little bit early in practice here. Guess it's better to now to try to get it now instead of later on in the race. We have Mr. Jason Spears in here with us tonight. And this Spears Motorsports truck. And also his teammate, Mr. Bernard Persons. So we got Mr. Ryan Lang. And of course, the boss man himself, Mr. Russ Bovair. And Mr. Jay Gimbel. Got Mr. Jim Johnson in the house. Mr. Levi Allen. Got Bailey Dutton. Finally got his paint changed. So we learned here a couple weeks ago that he was no longer with Reaper Speed Labs and he had gone over to Team Conte. So he's driving my boy Dustin Hall equipped truck here.
O2 pitting.
Alright, well, I forgot to cut my sound off, so bear with me while I do that. So you guys don't have to hear these guys complaining while they're racing. Alright, everybody, so we are getting ready to go green. Alright, again, welcome to the V-Speed Contender Series, sponsored by Nitro, FRT, and NEPA Towing. Tonight we bring you Darlington Motor Speedway for 100 laps in the Camping World Truck Series. We have Mr. Joe Zader on the pole. On the outside we have Mr. Tim Marlowe. The second row we have Bailey Dutton and Jason Spears. Third row, we're going to have Todd Cray and Mr. Ron Thompson. Fourth row, we're going to have Bernard Persons and Anthony Promoter. Fifth row, we're going to have Logan Keyes and Patrick Desaulniers. Sixth row, we're going to have Jordan Martin and Levi Allen. Seventh row, we're going to have Jay Gimbel and Mr. Russ Bovair. Eighth row, we're going to have Jim Johnson and Ryan Lang. Ninth row is going to bring us Doc Stout and Dustin Vielhausen. And bringing up the rear, we're going to have Mr. Ricky Williams. All right, Chevrolet Pace trucks bringing them around the track. That pretty green and black nitro truck of Joe Zader leading the point. Looks like we've got a pair of Toyotas on the front row, a Toyota 4 on the second row, and 2 Chevys on the third. Alright, so it looks like the pace truck's off, and we are getting ready to go green.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Looks like Joe's going to get a good start here with Bailey Dutton right on his butt. Push him down into the corner. Looks like Bailey's going to try to make a charge for the lead right off the bat, going into 3. Kind of a dangerous position there, but Joe decided to go ahead and not race crazy right off the bat, so they were able to get through that corner with no problem. So it looks like Bailey Dutton's going to lead that first lap. Joe Zader was able to roll up into second there. Bailey's teammate, Mr. Todd Cray, in third. Joe's definitely not cutting him any slack. He's definitely letting him know he's still there. So looks like we had Tim Marlowe trying to creep up into the mix here. Staying right there with him. And then Mr. Jason Spears right behind them. But up front, we have the 2 of Bailey Dutton leading the way. So far, so good. Looks like we got a little pass going on for second place here. Todd Cray's going to make that slide job work. So back here with Anthony. So we have Mr. Ron Thompson and Anthony right behind them. Bernard Persons behind them. Pretty much everybody's kind of single file already. If anybody's ever run this track, it is definitely not the easiest track in the world, and it definitely doesn't have more than one groove. We will see this all night long. Some people are going to get a good run and stay up front. Some people are going to check out. And some people are just going to sit back and ride. Now, I like Jordan's new truck there. That's pretty cool looking. Jordan got him another new paint. Seems like every time I see him, he got a new paint. We got Patrick behind him. Mr. Jay Gimbel in next. Mr. Levi Allen in 13. Russ Bovair in 14. We got Mr. Jim Johnson in 15. Ryan Lang in 16. Mr. Doc Stout right behind him in 17. Got Dustin Vielhausen behind them. That's Blair Patterson's teammate. And let's see Blair tonight. Blair must be busy. And then Ricky Williams behind them. I don't know if he had a problem at the beginning. He ended up starting from the pits, so I don't know if he just missed the start or whatever the case may be. Back up front, we got them Team Conti boys leading the way again. Now they've kind of come in here and stunk up the Nitro show. These last few weeks they've been tough, so let's see if they can keep that up. I know Bailey led the most laps last week. Looks like he's going to try to repeat that again. As we all know, every time they run Darlington in real life, they usually do like a throwback scheme. Now, I don't really see anybody running a throwback scheme in here tonight. So. Now, looking at the side of Bailey's truck there. I think he's done already got him a Darlington stripe. I'll have to check that out when he comes back by here. Yeah. No, maybe not. Maybe it's just the way his paint is. Yeah, it looks like he's got the carbon fiber look on the sides. It made it look like he done already scraped the wall. Looks like Bailey and Todd are starting to check out just a little. Not too much. Joe's still staying right there with him, but the first three positions have a little bit of a gap over fourth place. They are still not far off of the times that they started with. Well, I take that back. They've already dropped off almost a second. They fired off in 29.1 down to the 30-second mark on the laps. It's like last lap, fastest lap was Justin or Jordan Martin. He's still in the 29s. It's got a little bit of racing going on back here now. Some of these people have caught up. Look like Anthony Promoters that took over fourth place from Tim Marlowe. Bernard Persons has come up a couple spots. Ron Thompson's right with him. So Jordan Martin making a move on Jason Spears for the 8th spot. Wasn't quite able to clear him there. That's going to allow Logan Kais to get around Jordan. Looks like Logan's going to take a whack at trying to get by Jason Spears as well. Can he make it work? Looks like he's going to complete that pass. Back up front, looks like Bailey Dunn's starting to put a little gap out there now. About a half a second between first and second, second and third. And we got a nice little gap back to fourth place Anthony Promoter. Todd Cray in his chrome truck. Do like Joe's new paint though. Looks pretty cool with the green windshield sticker. Back behind them, they're still battling out here for the 5th through 10th place. These guys are all running side by side. It looks like Tim Marlowe got a little squirrely there coming out of the corner, but he was able to save it. So that will allow Bernard Persons to get around him and pick up that position. Ron Thompson trying to get up there. See if he can be in position for the end of the race here. There's some good little racing with this little pack right here. Meanwhile, back up toward the front, looks like Anthony Promota's definitely making a charge up to the front here, and he is slowly catching this lead pack. He's now only back about a second. A lot of good time here in the last couple laps. Back here in the pack with Ryan Lang, so we got Russ Bovair, Jim Johnson, and Ryan Lang all running together here. Just kind of riding around with Doc. Doc's back here with him, and Levi Allen, all just kind of chilling out here. Looks like Tim Marlowe's lost a lot of time. It's gone all the way back to 16. Back up front, still have Mr. Bailey Dutton leading the way. Todd Cray in second. Joe Zader still in third. Anthony Promota in fourth. And Ron Thompson after 25 laps. So I hope I don't jinx us again. Seems like every time I mention this, I always jinx us, but it seems like these boys are running good, and don't seem like we're gonna have a caution anytime soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and play our commercial for one of our sponsors. If you're watching, Mr. Greer, we appreciate your support, and this one's for you, buddy. Back to racing. So we still have Bailey Dutton starting to take these boys to Gapplebee's at this point. I don't know how he's going to be stopped. He is just definitely got it hooked up tonight. It looks like Anthony Promota is going to definitely try to get up there and give him a good challenge, because he has definitely made up a lot of times. Anthony's down now caught Joe Zader. And he's probably going to be trying to pick that position up here within the next lap or so. And just like that, Joe gets that Darlington stripe, which allows Anthony to go right on by. So this first four have about a 3.5 second lead over that next pack there. So it's going to take a little bit of luck and some skill to try for any of them boys to get caught back up here. Still, after 30 laps, we have Bailey Dutton still leading the way in his Team Conti truck. So far, 32 laps, no cautions, so that's a good thing. And there's racing all over the track, but for the most part, everybody's pretty much in line. Single file racing here, of course, as we know. Although we have seen a few passes in the corners, so some of these guys have found a little grip in the second line there, so that is definitely a good thing to be able to pass that way. Now, I'm not sure how many people know, but Darlington was made specifically just to run NASCAR races. And it broke ground in 1949. So that'll let you know how long this track's been around. It's been one of the favorite tracks, especially for the old school drivers, because of how tough it is to drive. Now, the most wins at Darlington currently in the Cup Series is David Pearson. Most top 5s is Richard Petty. And the most top 10s is Bill Elliott. Now, some other interesting facts that most laps led at Darlington is still held by Dale Earnhardt Sr. with 2,648 laps led. Now, something that would probably shock most people is there's 2 drivers that are still current that have records. So the best average start currently is Kyle Larson, and the best average finish is Denny Hamlin. Now, as far as lap records are concerned in the truck, John Hunter Nemechek holds that in the 2021 lift kits for less 200 with a qualifying lap of 29:39. There's a lot of different things that have applied to this track. Cole Witt had a record. The qualifying record was done by Cole Witt with a 28:27. And Bobby Hamilton had the fastest race, hour and 30 minutes. So a lot of cool little facts about this track. But it's been around for a long time. And of course, it's kind of like Talladega, where the campgrounds are definitely where the party's at, especially throwback weekends. So if you ever get a chance to go there, you definitely have to check it out. So we still have Mr. Todd Cray in second. And then Anthony Promoters just slowly sneaking up here. Got to be trying to take over that second position here shortly. We got Mr. Joe Zader still in fourth. And we got Mr. Logan Keyes back in fifth. Now, Logan's making up a little bit of time, too. So, but him and Mr. Ron Thompson are sitting there running right there together. And And that's your top 6 after 40 laps. Now, as the leader comes across the line, let's do a little crank it up. Still back up front, we have Mr. Bailey Dutton. That is lad since the drop of the green flag. It looks like he is reaching the end of the pack here. Get ready to start getting into lap traffic. So like the first person he's going to get up to is going to be Ricky Williams. It looks like we may start seeing some pit stops here shortly. It looks like Ryan Lang's coming in for a pit stop. Now, I haven't ran any of the trucks this week, so I'm not sure what the fuel mileage are on these things. I'm sure you could probably get at least 50 or so laps out of it. So we're on 45 as of right now. So Ryan's probably trying to do a little bit of pit strategy, kind of short pit, to see if he can kind of make up some of that time on the track. So it looks like Bailey gets around Ricky Williams with no problem, as well as the 93 truck and Patrick Desaulniers. It looks like Ryan's going to come right out behind the leader there. And that green flag pit stop just cost him 2 laps. Now he should be able to easily get one of those laps back right now. And of course, once the leader decides to come in, he should be able to get his second one back. Probably pick up a little bit of time on the track. It's like the 41 of Levi Allen's in. Let's get ready to start watching this race here for second, with the anti-promoter now coming up. It's going to be a good little race when it plays out. I suspect both of those guys are probably going to try to short pit as well too, to maybe make up some time on Bailey. Right now Bailey's got a pretty commanding lead of about 4 seconds. Looks like Anthony got a little bit of a Darlington stripe going on there. A little bit of the 45 on that right door rubbed off. So I take this time to, while I don't have commercials for the other sponsors, I do want to take this time to give a shout out to title sponsor Nitro Racing Setups, Mr. Russ Bovair and company over there. Discord's a great place to hang out. Come over and check us out if you haven't had a chance. A lot of good information, a lot of good people over there. We have Russ and Matt Coker building the truck sets. We have recently new Dakota Ehrman running, building the B car sets that have been really successful. Then Clayton Hoffman building the A car sets. So it looks like our second place is going to peel off for a pit stop, Mr. Todd Cray, which will. The leader is actually also pitted as well. So let's see if we can take a look at this pit stop. So it looks like Bailey Dutton, Todd Cray, and Logan Keyes coming down for this pit stop. Looks like Logan may have made a little bit of time up coming into the pits there, so he may have put himself in a pretty good position. Now, it looks like Anthony's stayed out. It's definitely going to and down and away. Looks like 4 tires and fuel it is. So that should be it. They shouldn't have to make any other pit stops. So the first lead change of the night was for Anthony Promoda, and as I go to him, he decides to come in for the pit. So let's check out his pit stop. It's like Joe Zader coming in with him as well. This is going to relinquish the lead to Mr. Ron Thompson. Jay Gimbel right behind him. And Jay's a lap down. He's already made his pit stop. So it looks like Ron, Russ, and Jordan and Doc are the 4 trucks that have not pit yet. Ron Thompson comes to the pits, which will relinquish the lead to Russ. So still 3 trucks left on the track that have not pitted yet. And as I say that, Russ decides to peel off and come down pit road. So now that puts Jordan Martin in the lead. They have lost 2.5 seconds from the start of the race at this point. So Jordan's really taking a gamble, staying out there hoping for a caution. So once this all gets all panned out, looks like Bailey Dutton will be back to the lead. And then here we have Jordan coming in for his pit stop. And that will put Mr. Doc in the lead. Of course, Doc's got almost 60 laps on his tires, so all of these trucks that are around him currently are going to be way faster. Just like that, Doc decides to come in. So that is going to end our round of pit stops and put Bailey Dutton back to the lead. So right now, the only trucks a lap down are Ricky Williams. We have Tim Marlowe that's 3 laps down, and Patrick Desaulnier that's 12 laps down. Dustin Vielhausen's probably going to be in that 1 or 2 lap down category as well. And Doc may even go a lap down too. But Bailey's going to have a pretty commanding lead over second place. He's going to have about 5.5 seconds. So like I said earlier, it's going to take a whole lot of luck and a whole lot of skill to not have Bailey win this one. Now, of course, Bailey's currently second in points behind Ron Thompson. And Ron's back in 9th place currently. So, every spot that Ron Thompson can get is definitely going to be to his advantage, because he definitely don't want to get down here with 3 races left after tonight and not be able to close that championship out at being as dominant as he has been all year long. All right, so after pit stops, we have Bailey Dutton still in first. Mr. Todd Cray in second. We have Anthony Promoda in third. And Joe Zader in fourth. That's been your top 4 of the entire race except through pit stops. Now, looks like Logan Kaz made up a little bit of time in the pits, which has allowed him to kind of catch up to Joe Zader here. So now he's a little bit closer. We have Mr. Jay Gimbel in 6th. We have Ryan Lang in 7th. Now, if you remember, Ryan came in a few laps earlier than everybody else. And so did Jay, actually. Jay actually came in 36 laps ago. So he's got double the amount of time on his equipment currently than everybody else. Now we got Bernard Persons in 8th place behind Ron Thompson. We got Russ Bovair in 8th place, I'm sorry. And then we got Ron Thompson in 9th. And then, of course, Bernard in 10th. We got Mr. Jim Johnson in 11th. Jason Spears in 12th. Shord Martin in 13th. Levi Allen in 14th. We got Doc in 15th. I got Ricky Williams in 16th. Got Tim Marlowe in 17th. Got Dustin Vielhausen in 18th. And then Patrick's in 19th. But back up front, it's all been the Bailey Dutton show. Now, Tim Marlowe's trying to get one of those laps back. Looks like he had just gone down a 3rd lap. And now he's trying to get that back. But currently, Bailey's got about a 4.8 second lead over second place Todd Cray. And about a 5.5 second lead on Anthony Promoda. So if Bailey can finish this off, this will definitely be retribution for last week and showing that it wasn't a fluke This is definitely not an easy track to drive, so he's definitely come in here with a lot of talent and putting on a good show. Ryan Lang and Dustin Dillhausen back here running together. Up in front of them, Jim Johnson and Bernard. Back to the 21. Looks like Anthony may have plateaued a little bit. Doesn't seem to be making up a whole lot of time anymore. So with 29 to go, it is still Bailey Dutton at front in this Team Conti truck. So it looked like he's missed a lick the entire race. Everybody drove a great race tonight. Well, we've only seen a couple of Darlington stripes, so that's a pretty plus for the night. So from 1st to 10th, we have about a 20-second gap. So that's almost a little over half a track. 2/3 of track there. Stay tuned for some upcoming news. We're going to have some changes in the future with some of the stuff that we're going to be doing. Keep an eye on the channel. I'll post it on my Facebook page as well. But there's some exciting changes coming in the future for us here. So it looks like the leader's going to be coming up on a little bit of lap traffic now. He's still got about... It's fluctuating. It looks like Todd may be making up a little bit of time, but then again, Bailey may be saving a little bit too. With that kind of lead, I can't see that he's running it that hard. But they do seem to be pulling away from Anthony, because Anthony's almost to a 6-second margin at this point. Fourth place is back to about 11 seconds back. Now it looks like Joe's been able to put a little bit of space between him and Logan Kais now. Like I said earlier, I've been really impressed with Joe this season, man. He's been like a rock, kind of like Ron Thompson, man. He's just been putting it in. He even did good at the road course. So he is definitely putting in the work to be able to be competitive with these guys up front. Now Joe, if you don't know, he's part of NEPA Towing and Recovery, which is one of our title sponsors. So we do appreciate his support, along with Jimmy Babb and FRT Motorsports, the commercial I played for Mr. Greer and company. It's just a bunch of friends that race together, and Tidewater, Virginia area, so mainly at Langley Speedway and around the south there, in real life. So they call it Friends Racing Together is what FRT stands for. So while we were watching, Joe decided to get him another one of them Darlington stripes. So I guess I need to get off him so I don't give him any bad luck. Now back here to Logan Keyes, he's been running pretty consistent over the last few races. Now, no surprise, Mr. Bruce Bovell is making his way to the front toward the end of the race, as he always does. We don't call him Baby Shark for a reason. He just takes a little bit at a time, and then next thing you know, he's right there. Now also keep an eye on the channel and as well as the Nitro channel. We're going to be having a benefit race for us here in the next few weeks. We're trying to lock down a few more sponsors currently, and some surprise guest drivers. But as you know, Russ lost his wife a couple weeks ago, and we're going to do something to try to help him. All the help that he's provided to the community over the years, it's going to be our time to give back. So I gave him the choice of where he wanted to race. He wants to race the trucks at Homestead. So we will be having a benefit race for the trucks at Homestead, and it will be the first annual Tanya Bovair Memorial. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page, the Nitro Facebook page, the Nitro Discord. We'll post all the details for that race coming up shortly, and with the links to be able to sign up. So it's still back up front with a commanding almost 5-second lead, Mr. Bailey Dutton. Bailey has taken these boys to school tonight. He has run pretty much a perfect race with the little less than 17 laps to go here. So we have Mr. Todd Cray still running in second, so you got teammates there. Now, Todd don't have Team Conti on there, but I was told that he is their teammate, so I'm assuming he's a Team Conti driver. And then, of course, third place is our Nitro's very own Anthony Promoter. And then fourth place, Mr. Joe Zader. Fifth place is Logan Keyes. And that looks like that's getting ready to develop in a race with him and Russ. Russ is just inching up little by little. Now Ron Thompson's done made himself up to 7th now, so that'll definitely help him out on the point situation with him and Bailey. With 3 laps or 3 races left, I'm not sure, unless Ron just has some really bad luck in those last 3 races, if Bailey's going to be able to catch him. But it only takes a couple races. So Rush showing the nose to Logan. Just like that, he's there. So the leader's coming to 12 to go, and he is in a hornet's nest of lap cars here. Now these guys are usually pretty good about getting out of the racing line, so There's usually never any issues with that. But back to this race for a 5th place here with Russ and Logan. It's like Logan's losing the nose of his truck a little bit here, and definitely going to allow Russ to get a run on him going into 2 there, or 1 there. Is he going to be able to keep that momentum up coming out of the corner? It looks like he is. Does the slide job and makes it work, and Russ moves up into 5th. So the leader's taking 10 to go. So back up front with 10 to go, we still have Mr. Bailey Dutton putting on the school for everybody. And he has about a 6-second lead over 2nd place Todd Craig. Now after a run like this, it's going to be like Jordan Martin's run at Phoenix. I think they're going to have to impound his tires or something after this race, because this man has not made one mistake the entire race. Pit stops were flawless. Race has been flawless. Definitely going to be a deserving win if he can make it to the end. Still no change in our lead pack here. So we still have Mr. Todd Cray in 2nd. Mr. Anthony Promoter in 3rd. Mr. Joe Zader in 4th. And Russ Bovair in 5th. Coming to 6 to go. Still Bailey Dutton leading the point. And due to them blistering speeds that he's been setting, he's been able to lap up to position 11. So only 10 trucks on the lead lap. 5 to go. 5 to go. Bailey's stretching that lead out now to about 6.6 seconds. Very proud of the way these guys have run tonight. Again, it just shows you the difference in the caliber of drivers that we have in this league versus the official races. From what I gather, the SRF race had like 8 cautions in it, the first one being on the first lap. So if you ever get tired of racing the official races, league racing is the way to go. You definitely get a little more respect from your fellow drivers, and it tends to be a whole lot better racing. All right, so the leader's going to be coming to 2 to go. And you know what's going through Bailey's mind. Please let me get one more lap. please, that caution don't need to come out. Everybody's pretty much spread out right now. There's really nobody racing each other. So unless somebody just accidentally self-spins, which I don't see happening tonight with as well as everybody's driving this track tonight, Bailey's pretty much got this one in the bag. All right. White flag. Just a little less than a lap. And we will be coming to the checkered flag. And that is it. We have your winner, Mr. Bailey Dutton from Team Conti, Todd Cray in second, and Mr. Anthony Promoda in third. What an amazing race tonight, everybody. We went caution-free for 100 laps at Darlington. Now that itself is a feat. I don't think, I know last season we went caution-free as well. So again, that just goes to the level of competitiveness and the level of skill that these guys have at these tracks. All right, so let's see about getting these guys up in here in the booth, and so we can do an interview with them. Where is Anthony at? I do not. Oh, there he is. All right, fellas, what an amazing race.
Oh.
100 caution-free laps at Darlington. Can you believe that?
Man, the only problem was one of them had nitrous.
Now,
Got him.
are you trying to say that Bailey Dunn's cheating now?
No way, no way. That's my teammate right there.
Well, I kind of said it kind of takes me back to Phoenix last season when Jordan Martin just like totally ran 5 laps longer than everybody else did on fuel, and he had to go to the NASCAR hauler after the race because I think they impounded his truck. So I would not be surprised if the NASCAR officials don't call you to the hauler after this race, Bailey.
Yeah, really.
My crew chief,
Fine,
he just
boy.
told me. My crew chief told me that I had special tires.
Well, yeah, that may be true, but whether they're legal or not, that may be another question. Man, that was an amazing race, Anthony. I thought you were going to come up through the pack there for a little bit. You made a little bit of time up, and then it's like you leveled out. Did you make a bad pit call?
Oh, the set was off from the get-go.
Ah, I got you.
I had not ran any laps for this race at all, so I had no idea what set to run. So I just threw something in and hoped and prayed, and it was not right.
Shot the shotgun at it, and it didn't work.
No.
Surprisingly, did the same thing, and mine just felt good.
Yeah, this did not. I went way too loose the first run.
You were flying
Yeah,
that first run, man.
Yeah, you were. I was kind of worried.
Oh,
I'm
no.
not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I was
halfway through the run, I just that second run about halfway through it, I just said screw it. I just gave up trying to catch Todd.
Well, you
Yeah,
made
I
up,
was waiting for you.
yeah, you
For
made up
sure.
so much
That's-
time on that first run that
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and I thought you were going to short pit so you could try to catch up even more, and then you didn't, and you stayed out longer than Bailey and Todd did. And I was like, oh crap, that's going to kind of put you behind a little bit. But I don't know. If your set's not there, your set's just not there. Especially here, you definitely got to have something that's going to make work here. But I tell you what, Bailey's was freaking flying. I don't think I can't remember what it was last year, but you won by almost 7 seconds.
7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. Todd, I gotta ask, man. So, well, the cool thing I can see now is you have your Team Conti truck. So now you can represent who you're racing for. But Todd, what's wrong with your truck? Why is it just chrome? Why?
Yeah, sometimes I just fly under the radar a little bit. That's about it.
How can you fly under the radar with a chrome truck?
Yeah, that's a good question. Never really thought about that one.
Yeah, I mean, because it kind of like sticks out like a sore thumb. You know, it's almost like a target. You know, they're like, look at that truck. Oh, lights in my eyes, crash.
Maybe a little flat black for next week. Is that what you're saying?
Hey. You've been running up front. You got to do something to change it up. You know, maybe try something different. You know, then maybe you can beat Bailey.
All right, I'll think about it.
All right.
Was my coach tonight.
Right, I got you.
That's why my second run was a lot better than the first run, but I needed like 4 or 5 more runs to try to get a hold of it.
Right. Anthony, any shout-outs you want to give, buddy?
Yeah, not really.
Just one of them
Not
weeks.
tonight,
huh?
at least.
I got you.
Yeah. I almost left the race about halfway through and said, screw it.
Nah. You still race good, man. Still race good. How about you, Todd?
Oh, just Cousin Jess out there. Just rooting us on. Team Assassin, Bailey for, little coaching tonight. And hats off to him, man. He was flying. So, yeah, it's a good deal. Had a good night for the team, so we're happy with that.
Good deal. Bailey, this is retribution for you, man. Last week it was kind of a Debbie Downer, man.
No, I can't believe I did that.
As soon as I seen you go down, I'm like, oops.
Well, it's funny, like in the officials, if you don't do that, especially on a green light, someone gets under you and you lose the race. So, I did it kind of out of habit.
Right.
And then they called it, and I was like, dang it, he's right.
Yeah, so I seen that. I was like, oh, God. And then, of course, Jordan said something. And then, of course, I knew it would eventually come up anyway. He just happened to say something right then. And I was like, oops.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It happened.
Hey, you came back.
I followed him right down there. I just, there I went.
Yep.
I took 5 people with me.
Whoop, there it is. Well, you moved up into second place in points last week, and you're not that far behind Ron. So all it's going to take for him is to have some bad luck, and you may come up in here and steal this championship. What do you think your chances of that?
I don't know. Ron tends to qualify pretty good, which tends to lead to good results. So
right, yeah.
I have no idea. I got to work on qualifying.
Very, very consistent. He's been very strong this year. I'm really, really impressed with him and Joe Zader both. Joe Zader's run a really good year this year too. So,
yeah, he is.
Yeah, so those guys have been very, very solid. Well, there you have it. V-Speed Contender Series winner, Mr. Bailey Dutton. Second place, Todd Cray. Third place, Mr. Anthony Promoter. We appreciate the amazing show you guys put on. Any last words before we let you guys go?
Go Jess.
Go Jess. So somebody watching the broadcast?
Oh, yeah. She's our biggest fan. So we throw it out there for her.
Always got to have a big fan. Go Jess. From the broadcast.
There you go. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that does it for the V-Speed Contender Series at Darlington. We will see you guys next week. Where are we next week? North Wilkesboro? Is that what it is next week?
Oh, that sounds good to Todd.
Right?
Let's call it North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, we're going to North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, North Wilkesboro next week. So that, just get a little bit of short track racing going on and see what you guys can, what kind of show you guys can put on.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Well, we shall see y'all next week at North Wilkesboro. You guys have a great night.
Jim. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks for everybody tuning in.